Today's norm in the workplace includes leading a multi-generational workforce. The differences in ages can span up to 30 years in some cases, and many professionals are struggling to manage the conflicts and bridge the gap. Leaders are now charged with finding ways to effectively communicate with the different types of workers. We must understand that every generation is valuable and use this to your advantage to create not only a good team, but an even better company. For the first time in history, four generations are actively engaged in the workforce. This generational diversity has been the subject of many debates, each one searching for the answer to that one question: which leadership style is best suited to address the generational gap? The truth is, there is no one size fits all approach. We need a better understanding of each generation and the ability to use different styles of leadership to fit their needs. It is critical to find a common influence when bringing generations together and make the expectations clear. Learning about these differences means we can accept and work with them. Tension between the generations is not new. This has been present for a long time, especially in the workplace. And while many employers concentrate on gender and ethnicity, generational diversity goes largely underaddressed, and it can be daunting. There is no doubt the differences are real and need attention. Although we cannot change the culture overnight, there are strategic efforts that can be made now. Increasing awareness, mentoring, and workplace initiatives are just a few that can assist in the efforts. Each generation is shaped by its experiences, which brings a variety of strengths to any workforce. First, the traditionalists. This group is associated with the Great Depression and known as the veterans. And some of their core values are dedication and being hard workers. These traditionalists were born at the time of the 1920s to 1945. Baby boomers. This group is associated with the civil rights movement and space travel. Some of their core values included equal rights, optimism, and very work oriented. They're known to be ethical and they're called good mentors. They were born from 1946 to 1964. Generation X. This group was associated with Watergate and the energy crisis. Some of their core values are balance, diversity, independence, and even fun. They're confident and flexible. This generation was born from 1965 to 1980. And finally, the millennials. This group is associated with digital media and unfortunately the terrorist attacks on 9/11. They're known to be sheltered, and some of their core values are diversity and they have high job expectations. But when it comes to technology, they soar. The interview process was to get a better grasp on the opinions of three leaders from three different generations. And each interview was unique in nature and their distinct mindsets showed. Kathy Cahill, the director of nursing at the Children's Hospital, is a baby boomer. She was positive about the generational differences. She's a mentor and she's a nurturer and she's dedicated to bridging the gap and leading a successful team. She said it best: mentoring helps the institution survive. Peter Semchek, the executive director, is Generation X. He was honest about the challenges he faces as a leader. He spoke of the poor job being done when it comes to succession planning, but is confident in mentoring and training. And finally, Marcelo Qatar, Director of Patient Experience. He's a millennial, the youngest leader of the group, and he spoke about the differences in expectations from each of the generations, including communication, technology, and even work hours. He spoke more about his mentors and what they meant to his development and how he's a very data driven leader. Bridging the gap. People prefer different styles when it comes to working, learning, and taking criticisms. Facilitating multiple channels of communication is very important. As a leader, it's our responsibility to find ways to promote employees of all generations to work together in a successful manner. In order to reduce generational tensions, we should focus on understanding, bringing awareness, and especially acceptance of one another. Because when you look past people's ages and see what they really stand for, you'll find common ground and you'll even make connections.